To make one text field be able to take both inputs, right? So now instead of say enter radius of a circle, I'm going to say okay, enter radius or width and height. Of rectangle. Okay, so this is going to be radius of a circle of a rectangle. And this one has to be separated. So you need to just tell the user by comma if you want, right, or space, right? Okay, so we use one text field, right? Now this one cannot be the number type anymore, right? Input type has to be text now, right? Okay, and then in the code, we pretty much just changing the logic here, right? So we able to read in, right, get text dot toString. So we gonna read it in whenever the user enter, right? Now we gonna call string maybe input. But we have to check if this is with the extra space or not, right? So we already learned string has what dot substring, right? Or split at the, we can do at the space, right? So it's going to return, when you call split, it's going to return. If you call split again to see the type that's returned, an array of string back, right? A group of string, meaning that I need to create, okay, another set, right? Like call parameters, an array of parameters. We start with an array here, right? This chapter we want to focus on array. Whenever you define array, you can put the square brackets either in front or after the name of your variables. And whenever when is the time that you want to use array? When there's a group of data that has the same data type, like this, right? You can have two values in, right? And then we pretty much just going to look at the size if, right? So array has the size array, right? We can do dot length, right, equals to 1. Then that means we find the radius, right? We get the radius because it's 1, right? The length is 1, which you want to pretty much just call parameters and get the index 0. 0 is the first one, which is only one values, right? So array is just like, if you look at Excel spreadsheet here, right? It's just like a set of information. So when I talk about 1, I actually refer to that set, but it's always start from 0, okay, like index 0 instead of 1, and the contents that the user will put in the radius itself, right? Now when I talk about if the users put in 2 values, so it's going to be 0 and 1. Arrays always start at index 0, right? And then you can have width, right, and height like that. So that's why if it's 1 parameters, like the size is 1, it's going to be only 1 parameter, which is radius at index 0. So that's why I get a 0. Else that means If you want to do else if, that's fine, or just else. In this case, I'm going to do just else if. I'm going to do else if to check the length is 2, right? So if you just else, it works the same. But if you do else if, that means you try to have another length 3, 4, and so on, right? Which you should, because you may check, like, user may happen to have extra spaces, like we should validate that input, like you can say is invalid, right? If you have more than 3, I'm going to say invalid, right? Input instead, right? Good. All right, tell the user, right? So otherwise, this one, I'm going to call find array the same, but this is called overloaded, right? But I just pass in the second parameters, which is 0 and 1. 0 is width and 1 is height. That I have to do the parse, right, to convert string to double 2, right? So now I just want to make sure that you have enough, or the parenthesis is correctly entered. So which is I'm missing this one. I have too many of this. All right, so let's test the program now. Okay. All right, so do geometric calculators. So we gotta do, let's test with, that's just pick up the radius, right? If I do separate by space, there you go. So we can do width and heights, right? So not your program is gonna be smart or not, just depending on your code now, right? See that?